Alright, well, it's been almost 24 hours and the verdict is in on the filter bag test here. Just did my morning routine and cleaned them. We did get a pretty heavy thunderstorm late last night, which of course churns up everything in my bog and the water gets all nasty looking for a while, so it's actually a pretty good test. So let's go over the pros to the system. The filter bags do absolutely filter to their dedicated micron size. So those being 50 micron bags, the water that passes through them is absolutely filtered down to 50 micron. One shot, done. Downside is they don't have anywhere near the capacity to retain that dirt over time, meaning they're going to plug up quickly, and I knew that. That's why I went with the biggest bags I could find and got as many of them in there as I could. So these filter bags, being that they absolutely filter probably to 95-98% in a single pass, makes them ideal for use in an open loop system. An open loop system means your water comes in from source A, passes through your filter, gets dumped out over to source B, and never comes back. It's only going through your filter one time. Something like that, you need absolute super high efficiency if you're going to be, actually get the water filtered. The upside that we have with ponds is it's a closed loop system. That water is going to keep going through this filter endlessly, and even if your filter's only running at 60%, it's going to get 60% the first time, 60% the second time, 60% the third time through, and it's an endless, closed loop. That being said, it's more important for our pond use. The most important thing is not so much efficiency, but capacity to hold all that dirt, which is where the K1 really shines. The K1 the upside to the K1 filters is you can neglect them. I routinely, every morning I got my 10-minute routine on the pond. I clean my skimmer, I flush this first drum, I check the second, and I'm done. My daily filter maintenance, the way this is set up, is less than 10 minutes a day. Now, I did clean all those bags out this morning because they were all at about 80% capacity, and it only took me 10 minutes, but that's all the time I typically spend on the whole pond, and that one drum alone took me 10 minutes. So, super high efficiency, it does absolutely work. The downside is it just can't hold the amount of dirt the K1 does, and you can't neglect it. Once those plug up, they're just going to overflow and go into a bypass mode, and now you've got zero filtration. The K1 actually filters better the dirtier it gets. The more it compacts with dirt, the finer the channeling gets, and it becomes actually more efficient the dirtier it gets. And if I were to neglect it, and all that's going to happen is this media is just going to rise up, eventually being above that drain there, and nothing bad's going to happen. I don't need to clean it every day. I just don't want that DOC load staying in my water column. For the amount of time it takes me, 3-4 minutes total, it's just cheap peace of mind for me to get that waste out of the system. So I'll be taking all this out and going back to my K1 bed that was in there, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So it works incredibly well. Downside is it has nowhere near the capacity to hold a lot of dirt like the K1 does. So that's the skinny. Now I know. Later.